All right, thanks, Jeremiah. First question, go ahead, Andrew Jones, followed by Matt Fortuna.
Hey, Jeremiah. Notre Dame, number 2 team in the country coming in. Uh, when you're coming off an open date with the exams, was it a little bit easier to kind of have your mind in the right place when you had exams with the open date, when you had such a big game like this coming up?
Yeah, actually, my exams fit out for me pretty well. I got most of them out of the way, so I was able to watch them. But at the same time, they have a bye week too. So studying them, you want to be on top of all their tendencies, but they also have a bye week and they're also studying us too. So we're also throwing some wrinkles in that practice just to make sure we're on top of everything.
When you guys have had some big games before, Mac has said you don't want to play the game on Tuesday and Wednesday. You want to play it on the actual game day. So how do you kind of pace yourself as you mentally get ready for the kind of game that this is going to be on Friday?
Just getting in the film room, getting all the guys together, whether it's the D line, the front seven, or if that's the back in with the DBs, getting in the meeting room with them with our extra days off, and we're almost done with exams, so we'll have extra time to study and get film room, and just making sure we're on top of everything with our communications because we have a lot of checks this week.
Cool, thank you, appreciate that.
Matt Fortuna, followed by Mike Toper.
Hi, Jeremiah. Thanks for doing this. How much do you guys go ones versus ones, in a typical practice week? And conditioning wise, how much more do you think your defense, North Carolina's defense, has to do playing against that offense you're seeing in practice versus more traditional offense and the defenses elsewhere?
Well, this week facing Notre Dame, I think they don't really run the tempo as much as most of the other teams we see in the ACC. They usually take their time coming up to the line. So I don't think being as tired would be as a factor because we'll have time in between snaps. We'll have 20, 30 seconds to be able to look at the scheme or look at the formation instead of most times we only get about 5 or 6 seconds to look at the formation and the ball snap. So they take a little bit longer time getting set up and getting the ball snapped. So I think getting fresh legs for the D-line or the secondary or for the linebackers would be key thing for us this week, and will be easier to do because they don't tempo as much as the other team.
Mike Toper.
Hey, Steve. Hey, Jeremiah. You talked a little bit about the film study. I wanted to ask you, last time out, big win, but the defense had given up 50 points, and now with a week off. Over this past week, looking at the defense, what have you tried to focus in on to try to tighten things up, and especially with another week and Notre Dame coming to town?
Well, first of all, Notre Dame does a really good job of running the ball and passing the ball. They're really balanced offensively. So for me, it's just getting in with the D-line and getting in with the secondary as many times during the week as I can and talking over our checks. Notre Dame likes to attack your weaknesses, and we've seen that overtake throughout the year. So getting in with the guys with the front seven and the back end is really important this week.
David Teal.
Jeremiah, does the anticipation surrounding this game remind you of last year's for Clemson?
Yeah, it does. I mean, they're two top teams coming into the country. Obviously, maybe this one has a little bit more juice packed into it since we're playing at 3:30 on a Friday night and we're on national TV a day after Thanksgiving. Everybody's watching. So, I do look at it kind of the same thing last year.
And obviously that game didn't turn out the way you might have hoped or you would have hoped, but the way you play Clemson, as strong as you played them, does that kind of performance let you know, hey, we can play with a top 5 team?
Absolutely. I remember saying that after the loss last year. Obviously, I mean, there are no moral victories, but looking back and looking on film, I mean, we went toe-to-toe with the number 1 team in the country, and I feel like that spread throughout the locker room, and everybody got a lot more confidence coming after that game, even though we did lose the game. Our team got a step of confidence.
Thank you.
Anybody else for Jeremiah? All right, Jeremiah, thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.